Hey guys, Joe here, and in today's one take, this is part of something that you'll be seeing in an upcoming video. Don't worry about that. We'll be talking about the results so far from that big ass bundle I picked up, which was a pretty epic pickup in my opinion. And we're going to talk about what I've sold, what I've kept, what I've made, what I still intend to sell, and just what you can do if you're willing to put your own sweat equity into your business or your hobby, however you guys want to look at it. Before we do that, don't forget to get subscribed, especially if you like this kind of stuff. If you like these tips, tricks, all that stuff, I'd be happy to keep making videos on it as well. Just leave me a message down below. Use my affiliate links, you'll help the channel grow, and then we can find even more bundles so I can show you continuously that these deals are out there if you know how to find them. But what we're talking about today is the results from what I've done so far with that big ass bundle. There was a bunch of computers, however, many of them were crap. There's a couple of 775s that I haven't taken apart yet, and there were 3 out of all those computers, FM2s with AMD Phenom X4s on super basic boards, 4-pin PC or CPU connectors with 2 RAM slots and no real performance to be had out of those. And I didn't even feel like building budget systems out of those. I just took the motherboards out in case I need them, but I don't really think I'll ever use them. However, I did use a couple of the parts out of it, and I'll show you. Obviously, I kept the Toshiba, which is the one that I really wanted to keep out of the whole bundle. Which, by the way, these just sold again for $305, but this one's upgraded. It has a 1 terabyte SSHD along with a 240 gig SSD boot drive, and the screen's been replaced. So this is actually probably a $250 laptop as it sits, except for the fact that I had to buy 2 chargers because the mail hasn't brought one of them yet, and the other one will be here on Tuesday. This uses the 120 watt brick, same thing as an MSI gaming laptop or an ROG laptop, because it has dedicated graphics and a 65 watt processor. So didn't realize that. If I had just read the bottom where it said 6.32 amps, I would have ordered the right one, but nah. Here you can see on the screen I have a couple of the systems I built. You can see great entry system, AMD 6-core, blah, blah, blah. $175, except for I put the RX 480 in there, sold it at cost $225. So that basically paid for all the computers and part of the RX 480, and that worked really well. Second was great gaming PC, GTX 980, $400. I threw an old 980 that had broken fans on it, so I put PC fans on it, and the 8120 system together, and I sold that for $400. So I wound up at $625 just between those 2 systems, which more than paid for everything. $375 is what I had into it, $625 is what I walked away with right there. So we're already up $250. $250 profit. After that, I went ahead and sold many of the remaining motherboards, the decent FX motherboards, as well as the X58 motherboard, and you'll see why in a second, and the processors, to my buddy in California who rebuilds systems, makes cheap systems. He does kind of what I do, but he does it out there, and he sells on eBay. A couple of things I've sold him I've seen show up on eBay, and that's fine, because he pays me decent, and he can do whatever he wants with them. That's commerce and capitalism. But what I did was I sold him a bunch of the remaining motherboards and processors, some of the RAM, for another $525 plus shipping. So all told, between all of that goodness, we're talking about $1,150 on a $375 investment. So you do the math, that's $775 is what I've made so far on those computers. And I still have some stuff left, and I picked up a bunch of stuff, which I may sell, I may not. I haven't decided yet. I'm ahead of the game, so I may just keep this stuff because I wanted to, but I don't have the boxes for some of it. So it's kind of like, do I want to keep it if I can't use the boxes to display it? Because as you can see, even from last week, I got more boxes because I want to collect box systems, box graphics cards. Basically, I want the boxes, kind of like most collectors would. But I did keep the 260, GTX 260 and the GTX 9800 GTX Plus. That wasn't English, but you know what I mean. So those I kept. But I also kept the Kraken X62 water cooler. I kept 2 of the cheap little 120 millimeter Asetek. 2 of the 120 millimeter Asetek coolers. So I have 3 AIOs in total still. And this NZXT is sitting on top of a EVGA Classified 3 X58 motherboard, which I wound up picking up, along with 24 gigs of G.Skill Sniper 1866 megahertz RAM. So that was a good find. I sold my Sniper, or excuse me, my G1 Assassin motherboard. Too big, didn't fit in anything, because I wanted this one. It's got, you can see, massive cooler here. This is for the Northbridge. This massive ass cooler, so it's designed for overclocking, and that's what I'm going to be messing with on this board. Old school motherboard, overclocking with an X5675, so it's going to be some BCLK and some multiplier stuff. You'll be seeing a video on that as well. I was able to get that and an SSD for a very reasonable price. Turns out that I'm friends with the guy I bought this, or friends with buddies. I used to work with the guy that knew this guy, and it was just kind of funny because as I was picking this up, my buddy actually pulled up and I was looking at my phone. He walked right by me. It was just kind of funny. But I picked all that up. Even has the I/O shield, so that's good. And I had this set up for a little while until another deal came up. And that was a ROG X370 Crosshair 6 Hero motherboard. ROG makes some good stuff. I like their boards, except for their X99 Gaming. Had a habit of killing CPUs. I think it just allowed too much voltage through. I don't know, but I've had 2 of them kill CPUs, so I don't use those anymore. If I were to do an X99, probably go MSI Carbon or something. But also an 1800X. I wound up paying $200 and something for 3 components. So you had the 1800X, which is still a $110 processor. The ROG boxed X370. X370 being older isn't worth as much, but it's ROG, so it's still worth some. As well as a Black Widow V2, so version 2 keyboard with the green switches for like $210. So about $70 a component, we'll call it, which is a fair price in my opinion. Overpriced on the keyboard if you want to put it that way, but all in all, that's not right. It was a pretty fair deal. So I have that, which is actually in that computer case, which again I also got on Amazon on sale. I don't like to buy full price, but it paid for that, as well as that Samsung 27-inch FreeSync monitor, which was only $100 because the guy was dumping it. Normally it's a $200 to $220 monitor, 2 millisecond click, move, 2 millisecond refresh rate. So that was really good. Also got a few extra SSDs because you can never have enough SSDs, and while they were cheap, $25 for 240 gig is not a bad price. But I also wound up getting a GTX 1080 Ti Gigabyte Aorus edition. It's the triple fan. It's actually in the system back there, as you can see. And I got this card for $275. The 3000 series NVIDIA has just destroyed values for resellers anyways. For buyers, it's great. Although now that they've released the 3000 series cards, there may be a shortage, so keep your eyes open. Cards may go up in price again, but we'll see what happens there. But all told, paid some bills, bought some snacks, bought all this computer equipment, still have a few $100, and I still have enough stuff to build 2 or 3 really cheap, $100, $125 computers. So all in all, really, really, really strong pickups. And that is kind of what I said when I was showing off the stuff. I don't do it to flex, because this isn't flexing. Showing off used stuff is just me showing that there are bargains out there and what you can do to make those bargains work for you. By cleaning up a case that looked like it was destroyed, I was able to repurpose it and got $400 for components that were being basically thrown away. I was able to repurpose really nasty junk and got a couple of $100. Just do it, guys. Don't think about it. Buy bundles. Buy more than you actually need. And this is the same thing I used to talk about with video game hunting and anything else. Buy more than what you need. Sell what you don't want. Keep what you want for free. I got paid hundreds of dollars to take all of this crap. And there you go. So, one takeover, rant over, not starting over again. Like I said, 4 times. My phone gets hot from doing this. And I will be uploading another firearm video tomorrow, which seems to be a Friday thing now, which is fine. and you'll be seeing something on that. I'm not sure which one I still have. I think I have a Canik TP9 SFX that I can still upload. We'll see. I have to go through my videos. I'm going to get out of here. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you guys like what I was able to convert all that stuff into, what you would have done differently. Obviously, I could have built, like, I had 8 motherboards total, so I could have built probably 7 more systems and made another $1,000, but it's not about making a bajillion dollars. It's about making enough money to pay for everything and be comfortable. So that's about it. Let me know, again, what you guys have found, what you guys have done, what you're setting up with it. You'll be seeing a video on that computer in a vloggy style build of it, as well as what I did wrong when I built it. And I'm sure there's stuff I didn't mention, so it just is what it is. Time for sleep. Time for sleep. And as always, I'll talk to you later.